Welcome to the weekly analysis traders of November 12th. You can go ahead, Selena.
All righty then. 1 second. Oh, Ty, you got to stop sharing. Thank you. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so after what happened last week with some of the with the news and everything that was going on with the pairs, I decided to do the weekly pairs just a little bit differently. So if I didn't color code them, then there was more going on with that order block than it's just happening to a weekly bearish or bullish order block. So I'll run through these pretty fast. Chef JPY, it was a bearish order block. It did as projected, which when I say that, I means it taps into the wick or the body of the order block. And depending on how you traded it, if you did the sale, it was 289 pips. EA, this is one of the ones that I color code. It was a bearish order block, but it was tapping into a bullish order block from September the 26th. So that was the day of the bullish order block candle. Based on that analysis and knowing that it was tapping into the bullish, it had tapped into that bullish order block. So it should have continued to buy up, even though it had a bearish OB. And that bearish OB was just a retracement. So it did buy up 257 pips if you decided to trade that one. Same thing with EC. Tapped into that same order block. It bought up 297 pips. EG, it was a bullish order block. I didn't see any other order blocks surrounding it below or above it that it could be tapping into. There was 133 pips there. EN, it did as projected. It tapped into the wick of the bearish order block, and there was 323 pips there. GA, it was tapping into a bullish order block from October the 10th. 248 pips there. GC, it tapped into a bullish order block from September the 26th. And it continued to buy up 343 pips. So those bearish order blocks on GA, GC, EC, EA were all just retracements. GJ, there's a bearish order block there, but it was tapping into that bullish order block from October the 10th. This one sold down for 613 pips. GN, it was bearish order block, but it was tapping into a bullish order block from September 26th. This is the one we studied, I think, every day last week on the 5 o'clock call. Todd done a couple of videos about this pair. Last week, they were really good if you want to go back and look. So when I put 900 pips on here, that include that move up Sunday that he just talked about again on this call, the push down, and then it pushed back up to that daily imbalance area. This is all in that daily imbalance area. And then it sold down again. So if you bought and sold this pair, on that pair alone, it was 900 pips. It could have been a little bit more depending on how you traded it. But with that first move up, and then that huge move down, and then the move up, there was like 900 pips on GN. So those were the order blocks for last week summary. Here. This week, as we spoke of just a second ago, there is a ton of order blocks to choose from. I don't think I saw any order blocks. It was tapping into above and below, but I did this late last night, so I might have missed them. But these are a lot of order blocks for this week. So
y'all give me a minute. Shoot.
And while he's chewing, did anybody have any questions on What happened last week? No preguntas? Beans.
Dear sister.
Yes, Terrence, my dear brother.
You don't have USD Chef on here.
Okay. Thank you. It was late last night when I did this, so thank you. I will update it and add it to the list. Yes, I do. It's at the bottom, Terrence.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. I appreciate it though.
USD JPY.
It's not an order block. But we trading it.
I think that's more the easy money strategy.
What about GU?
GU wasn't. The GU is on here.
Yeah. Shall I start? Because people got things to do. You want to go to? Shall I share my screen? I'll do US 30. That's it.
I disagree. It's not an order block, sir.
What's not order block?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how big Doji has to be considered an order block or not. But
he's talking about the retracement on you, Jay Terrence.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Todd said it's got to retrace because of how far the candles moved. I think is it 700 pips? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I just thought it was an order block also, but I don't know how big the doji has to be considered an order block. The small candle next to it.
I probably didn't put that one on there because it probably was too. There is a couple on here that's like that what you're talking about, Terrence. Why am I having problems stopping sharing today? There is a couple. I just don't want to share anymore.
Well, Todd said it wasn't an order block either, so.
Okay. Okay. Did I miss anything else? Okay.
Shall I share my screen then?
Share your screen.
So hello everybody, my name is Leandra and I'm going to start with US 30. Can you hear me? Because I've got my headphones on.
I hear you.
Okay, lovely. So Selena's already gone over the order blocks that we've got this week. So I'm going to go through US 30 and SPX 500. So firstly, let's look over the news and see what news we have this week. I think we have US news on Tuesday and where did I see it? Wednesday at 1:30, core retail sales, and then Thursday, Philly Fed. So Monday should be a good day for the indices and also Friday as well, because, and anytime the news moves really, but those days will be less volatile. So just want to check the monthly because we do have this bullish order block on the monthly. It's tapped into this monthly bullish order block below. So prices continuing to go up from October. So on the weekly, we have a weekly bullish order block. So price is probably going to retrace back to the golden zone or the 78.6. I've already checked this out. And on the daily, it's, I think the 4 hour, it's got an imbalance on this candle here. So possible it could go down to the 78.6 area where this black line is. So that is about 1,000 pips to the 78.6. And then going to the minus 27, that's 1,800 pips. And then if we go back to the weekly, that will bring, sorry, if we go back to the monthly, or the monthly bearish order block's already marked up for this blue box. So above this candle, there's a monthly bearish order block. So that's where the 27 minus 27 area is on the fib. So that's perfect. So that's a possible like 2,800 pips this week on US 30 and XPX. All this stuff, so I don't like. SPX is the same as well. It's going up on the weekly, but it's tapped into this bearish order blocks.
Is the negative 27, is that always the target when it fibs and retrace to the golden zone?
I find it always ends up reaching that area on USA. I deleted all my markings from last week. But
Okay.
can you see this? Can you see this minus 27 monthly fib that I've got marked up here?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
The people who trade Fibonacci, that is their target.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will actually hit it, but it is what it is.
I think it will, because it's the monthly bearish order block, and the monthly bearish order block has already been wicked in by this candle, so it needs to go past this candle's wick to push back down.
So what I find interesting about this chart is even looking at this chart here, but the SPX is a lot better, but you can see the chalk. So you can see price broke the highs. Where you have that monthly bear wick, it broke the high.
Yeah,
yeah. And right down and broke the low.
Well, yeah.
So it's right at the area where we need to turn and burn. Just be careful with it, that's all.
Well, hey Todd, if you get in on the down move, you're saying it may just keep going down?
Right, it's going to. You know, I wouldn't doubt it, man. So, you know, we got a lot of news too. But you know, if you're a US 30 trader, I mean, you play with all that risk like that. But I like trading the setups where I'm more guaranteed, you know. But this is why you trade order blocks. You trade opposite direction all the time anyway. So if you're trading down on the US 30 and it keeps going, who cares? But if you're just sitting there waiting in the area where you feel like it's going to buy, you can get tore up. You know, I'm just big picture moves. The chart is looking like it's going to, the chalk says it's supposed to sell. I don't know exactly from what point it's going to sell, but I just know it's kind of, we're close, you know?
Yeah, because we're close to this bearish order block.
Hey, I don't disagree with what you're saying, you know, but I just want to tell the group that, you know, while we all analyze and we think that our analysis is proper and correct, the market actually moves. So don't just buy it.
Stick to one bias.
So, you know, you got to trade the chart. When you get your order blocks on those lower time frames, those you got to trade with those. That's why when we look on the weekly, we drop down to get our entry on the 4 hour. So on and so forth. If you see the setup on the 4 hour, you drop down.
Cut out, Todd.
Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me now?
Unfortunately, yes.
So yeah, I mean, just bear with me with this internet. But the point is, even though you have a bias, you got to trade the chart as it sets up.
Yeah, 100%. But this is the higher time frame analysis of what prices look like. It's gone from one monthly bullish order block, and it's respected this bearish order block before.
Right.
So it's bound to respect, and it's respected it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we possibly might be able to see it to the 27%.
Perhaps.
Yes, I said possibly.
Yep.
So SPX has come to this weekly bearish order block. So I'm expecting price to pull back to this 50% or 78.6. See on the daily, it's like literally like in the golden zone where the wick is. And there's an imbalance there as well. 100 pips. We've taken that back down to the 50%, that's like 150 pips. And then to the minus 27, which I'm not sure because, I mean, yeah, on the daily, there's a bearish order block and the minus 27, so that's like perfect. So that's probably like 300 pips. Okay, I'm finished now.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Let the good times begin. Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that breakdown there, Leandra.
You're welcome.
All right, there. We talked a little bit about the trade setups and kind of what I'm looking for going into the week. I think this is going to be my primary target tomorrow when the market opens. Hopefully I can get this up move. Like I said, I only need 100 pips, 150 pips, whatever. This will be the trade idea that I look for first. I want to be able to trade that back up. If it gives me my 150 pips or whatever, 100 pips, I'll have my percentage and I won't worry about it. If it doesn't, if this trade idea does not work, I like GU. I like GU for obvious reasons. The amount of pips that it traveled, right? I do expect the dollar to keep selling off into the week. We have those 3 news events. It's the only thing that kind of sucks, I don't like the price action around the news where you get the wild wicks. So ideally, if I can get my pip count on the UJ trade, I'm not going to be in the dollar during the news events, all right? Because it wicks too many pips, And if you trade a funded account, it can be kind of dangerous on your account. But if you look at this setup, I think we discussed, that this thing traveled over 400 pips last week. So we can look for a 200 pip move back to the zone. Once we get to the zone, you can see this huge imbalance, right? You pull the GAN box out, figure out where the 50% is. This is where we can look for an entry to go back up, okay? I don't know that both moves will happen, the pullback and the press up will happen next week. But I definitely think we'll get at least 400 pip move, like we'll get the pullback. So let's just say that the UJ trade doesn't work out and like it's too much news going on for GU. I put out a separate video today on GCAD, right? I was looking at this this morning, like in the wee hours of the morning. If you ever get up like at 4 a.m. and have nothing to do, look at your charts, man. It's like poetry in motion. The thing that really stood out to me, like I said, was this setup is the exact same as GN before it dropped 800 points. for whatever reason, I believe in the chalk. I believe in if it breaks structure to the upside and then turns around and breaks structure immediately to the downside, it's hard. It's foreshadowing a drop, and if you look at this, it tapped into the zone. I think we can expect this drop down. I think
you out, Todd. So if you want to share that again.
Oh my God. Can y'all hear me? Let me know when I come back. Let me know. Let me know.
Back. You just got back.
All right. So was I cutting out like this during the morning?
Not at all. Not one time. So that
was it's just recent.
Yeah, that was meant to be.
Well, I think that I need to go back to the room, because I was in the room when I was talking this morning. So basically, I think this setup is going to play out like GN's did. I don't know.
You cut not bad now, sir.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know when I'm back in.
Sit next to the router.
Sit next to the what?
The router.
The router.
The router.
What is the router?
It's the internet router.
No, I think it's the router.
Oh,
the router.
The
router.
Why? What do you call it?
I'm so dead right now.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
A router.
She's talking about
a router. A router. It's called a router.
The roto-rooter is the guy that comes and cleans up the toilet.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So listen, back to this trade idea. I think this setup is the exact setup that we got from GN. And on several levels, I can see this thing, cooking off. So if I don't get what I need from the UJ trade, I'm definitely going to look at this trade for my move. Even if I get what I get, I want to do a case study on this, and that will allow the people in the back to kind of understand the mindset of the trader whenever you're looking to take advantage of a trade or whatnot. It also, what I'm going to try to do with this case study is maybe kind of outline the times, right? The times a day. A lot of times these trade setups will take place in the middle of the night. So I'll let you know, hey man, it's this time of the night. This is what I'm looking for, or this is what the market is doing, and this is what I'm looking to take advantage of. That way, when it's all said and done, maybe you'll have some insight into the moves that you might see in the future. Okay, but this is going to be a good trade setup, or this is a good trade setup. It just depends on how it moves. And the thing that's ironic about this, and I kind of wanted to make sure I bring this out, is you won't see GCAD on Selena's list more than likely. And the reason being, we got our order block last week, but this is very important for us to understand. When you take these trades based on these weekly order blocks, it's going to last like the next several weeks. In a lot of cases, it might last for a few months. It just depends on where we are in that process. So if you think about this, we got the first bullish order block way back here. This is in September. We got a bullish order block.
You out, Todd.
Okay, but let me know when I come back in. Let me know when I come back in. Let me know when I come back in.
Back.
All right. So if you think about this, we got the first bullish order block back in September. And we could have traded this thing every week, based on this bullish order block. So we got a bearish order block. It went up last week. Now we can expect for it to drop. I still think that this pair is on its way up. I just think this is a retracement. We just enjoy a bigger retracement because we caught the move on a higher time frame. Okay. So this is going to be a good trade setup. I like GU for the regular weekly order block. The NZDs sold last week, and it puts us in position to maybe look for a sell. But so with the NZDs, it's important to note, what about the moving averages? Anybody?
What'd you ask?
So what's significant about the moving averages on this trade?
Oh, they're right up under the order block.
That's right. So
sloping upwards, I think, somewhere along the line.
What's that?
I think it's going to start turning upwards. I don't know. I'm just looking at
it's
widening at the bottom.
So that's a good observation. I think it will turn upward too. But we still have to allow this trade to play out. A lot of what this might be, there's an impulse move, all we're getting is a pullback. So maybe the trade will come down here and test the bottom moving average. Maybe it'll test the 71.8 or 78.6 and then go up. But I think that we'll be safe to trade this. If you're going to get in the trade on the 4 hour, you want to watch where your trade is. I would actually go in here and mark up, put a line here on this weekly chart, so I'll know, hey, this is where I need to take my profit. So if I drop down to the 4 hour and I'm trading this thing, after it goes up, this is my take profit. So I would have to ask myself, let's say it goes back up to this area and we catch this trade. That's 94 pips. So if I can't get everything I need out of this trade in these 94 pips, then I'm probably not going to trade NZD Chef. And I'm not saying you can't trade it, because it's definitely an order block. But what I'm telling you is you have the responsibility to do your due diligence before you pick pairs to trade. And if you want to trade NZD, maybe NZD JPY, which has a bearish order block, and it's well above these moving averages, is a better option. You know what I'm saying? So when you start picking which pair you want to trade, you want to add all this stuff into your analysis, right? Like you want to pick a pair that's going to pay you in that move, you know, and it has wiggle room, right? This is another beautiful setup to me. EJ ran a pretty decent amount of pips, over 300 pips, right? We're going to get a pullback, but not only do we get a pullback, but we got this doji at the bottom. So I think we're going to get a very good move, a very good weekly move on EJ. The only problem that I see is we're stuck in the condition where we got to wait on these news events, and it's 3 of them. You know, we got PPI.
You talking EJ or EU?
EU. Do you guys know what PPI means? The news event. PPI is inflation.
Producer price index.
It's basically it measures inflation for businesses, for these businesses that produce goods, right? If that number is bad, the dollar is going to give ground, right? And I think the number will be bad, or be worse than expected, because I don't think the price of energy has been very expensive. So this is around the area that I would look for for price to push back and go the opposite direction. If you look down here in this area, there's clearly an imbalance from here to here, right? And the 50% is somewhere in that realm. In fact, I'll just drop to the 2 hours, see if I can just measure that bad boy up. Man, look at that. The 50, that imbalance is huge.
Hey Todd, and it's at a monthly wick order block and a monthly moving average.
Yeah, there's all kinds of confluence here. All kinds. So we have a lot of great setup opportunities, and in a lot of different ways. I think this is a week where you can get a lot of practice on getting entries and second entries, right? This week would be an attractive week to go after several of these setups because of the big gaps, in prices and whatnot. So, you guys have any questions? The AUDs are beautiful too.
I didn't look, so don't yell at me. Do we have any pairs? I hadn't looked yet. Don't have any news this week that made the list.
I don't know. Let me see if we got news. Okay, the 12th.
I think NZD doesn't have news this week.
What about AUD? AUD had wage price Tuesday, Monday.
Wednesday, they've got wage price index.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. AUD got news all week too.
GBP.
Yeah, it's a lot of news out there, guys. But price will move plenty even after the news. You don't have to be in the trade during the news event, but price will move plenty after the news events too. The setups are here, and they're actually great setups. I want to point out this chalk, right? Price establishes a high, it breaks the high, it breaks the low, it comes back up to this last up candle, and then it sells off. It's the same thing, as what we pointed out on GBP CAD, that we think is going to happen. Breaks structure to the downside. Now it's in that area, it needs to turn and sell. I think we're going to, the more I look at these other charts, the more confidence that I have that we're going to get that move.
Hey, Ty, can you do the chalk on AJ one more time?
Here's a high. You break that high, you break this low. You come back right to this last up candle, and then you turn and burn.
God, I see it.
You got head and shoulders for retail traders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. All we're doing is taking it to this bottom right here. I believe we'll get it.
And then we get the pullback for the continuation of the sell. Is that correct?
For the sell down here? I mean, if it keeps selling, I don't know how far it's going to sell down, but
so that's the head and shoulders move, isn't it?
Yeah, I know we'll get it sold down here. Maybe it'll turn and go up after that, When I look at this monthly chart, the monthly chart is teetering, right? Like it can either push down or it can push up. I'm not convinced that it will push down any further. Maybe it'll just push down a little bit and push back up. Maybe we're going higher to this level. I mean, this price has been in this level for the last few months. We haven't been able to break this high. Then we get a wick past it. I'm really more biased for this to wick down and then buy up. So I really think that we'll get this sell down to this level and then it'll buy back up. We'll just have
Todd, on that time frame you were on, could that be the beginning of the rally, the base, You had the rally, and then could that be the base?
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Rally, base, and rally. Yeah, you can do that. Or you can get rally, base, rally down. I think that for whatever reason, these are monthly candles. So for the last 5 or 6 months, I mean, price has been at this level. So maybe if we don't break this at some point, maybe it comes down and retests this level, and then it either goes up or down, from there. But I can't pretend I know which direction it's going to go by what I see. If you had asked me at the beginning of this month, I would tell you that this is going to buy. And since it hasn't violated the order block, I'm still biased for it to buy. It can go down and test this moving average, but I don't know. I can't tell you with 100% certainty that that's what's going to happen. Any other questions? Is anybody trading anything that we didn't cover?
So the question of the week is, what pairs are you leaning to? I'm sure.
Y'all didn't hear that? What pair did I say I was trading tomorrow?
UJ.
Oh, thank you, Felicia. I mean, I missed all of that.
Yeah. So when the
or
market,
whatever moves, Selena, whatever moves.
UJ is the one that I'll be focused on, and I think it's going to give me my percentage. But if something goes wrong, then GC will be what I fall back on. I like GU setup. If you trade GU, I think that's an awesome setup. But for me, it's UJ, and then I'm gonna focus on GC. Because I really do believe that we're going to get the move on UJ, and then I think GC's move will happen later on, or throughout the week, versus that Sunday,
Todd, a good thing about excuse me, UJ, when you're speaking of the news, if you kind of nervous about the news, there's not a lot of big news, Sunday and Monday. So like you say, you can make it to your 10% pretty easily without being too stressed if you're a stressful person like me.
I agree.
That's just.
I agree.
Child, you're going to be stressed as soon as you hit.
I'll be putting my business in the street.
Hey, Todd. Isn't, EU looks like it's going to do something Sunday and Monday also.
Well, it is. It's going to sell. I don't disagree with that. The reason why I like UJ is because, for one, the time frame that we'll be on when the market opens is Asian, and for two, the pip count. I don't disagree that EU and GU for that matter is going to sell off. But if you're asking me which one I'm looking at, it's going to be UJ. I think it's going to do something before 2 something too.
All good.
Do you have any other questions?
No preguntas.
Hopefully, everybody steps out on the limb, getting the demo, trade what I just showed you. Or if you've seen enough, trade it in your account. I mean, the stuff works, man.
Oh, what you trading, Hope?
Brother, I'm trading UJ. I want to try to make my percentage Sunday night and be done Monday. That is my goal.
Okay, you see any reason why you can't believe it?
There's no reason. I'm waiting for my order block and I'm going in.
Okay, all right, great.
Sorry, Todd, can you check oil for Elfie, please? Because she's not here today.
Oil?
Yeah, she likes to check. She likes to check oil, isn't
it? No, hers is the 30.
Oh, German 30, but who likes to check oil?
It was Martha when she used to attend.
Oh.
You know, my only question would be why, why?
After done started trading,
Yeah,
like what she's seeing now. So
I think that's the way to do it, man. We can choose to trade whatever we want to, but just answer the question why to yourself. Why would you trade anything that's not recommended? If you especially, I mean, you're having success, I get it, but if you've not had the success that you desire, why would you trade something different? At some point, I'm just going to stop entertaining it, but we all have to make our own way as traders. But if you're receiving assistance, there's a good suggestion just to take the assistance and run with it. If you want to do something different, do it in your demo or do it on work your strategy out, but don't let it blow your account and stuff like that. I'm not the guy that's going to say you should stick to one thing. I've heard a lot of people say that, and everybody has their own opinion. I don't feel any type of way about the way they feel, but y'all know I trade whatever's moving, whatever gives me an order block. I believe it can be traded, and it can be traded based on the same things that we trade everything else with. Man, the currency market is driven by interest rates, in meetings and anticipation. I don't pretend to know everything about any of those subjects, but I know enough to make my money. And especially after this year, making 10% a week, I trade whatever's moving, and I don't have a problem with it. So whatever has the order block and it shows me the propensity to have a good week where I can make 10% that week, that's what I'm interested in trading. All right, guys. Hopefully